of the time he's been in Vrindavan and doing so many wonderful sevas there, the chairman and faculty, and looking after the temple activities for so many years. And he's, of course, a traveling preacher. So welcoming Maharaj for this auspicious day, and thanking him again because I know his tight schedule is there, still he agreed to come. So I'd like to give him Hare Krishna mantra for good health. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Over to you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. I would like to thank again the devotees in Shamadesh for inviting me this very auspicious day, celebration of the appearance day of Lord Nrsimhadev. This is one of the main festivals in ISKCON all over the world, where Srila Prabhupada established temples. We have over 450 temples, centers all over the world. And Lord Nrsimhadev is special incarnation of the Supreme Lord. In potency, he is no less than Lord Krishna. Of course, Lord Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan, he is Purna Bhagavan. So somehow there are three Supreme Personality of Godhead. I mean, his expansion as Ramachandra, as Lord Nrsimhadev, they're all in the same level of potency. Prabhupada gave one of the classes in Mumbai that if Lord Ramachandra would like to play flute, he'll be able to play flute. There is no, nothing can stop him from playing the flute. So today we'll be discussing about the appearance of Lord Nrsimhadev based from the Srimad Bhagavatam, the 7th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So is there anyone who's translating, or I'll just speak directly in English?
You speak, Maharaj. Please speak.
Yes?
Yeah, you
so
please.
We chant or we go straight?
Yeah, you can go straight, Maharaj, no problem.
Go straight? All right. This is my second attempt to describe the pastimes of Lord Nrsimhadev. I gave class this morning for the devotees, actually this afternoon for the devotees in Africa, devotees in Ghana, in Tanzania, and those places in West Africa. So Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and according to the Bhagavad Gita, he comes from time to time to establish the principles of religion. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir vavati bharata. And also to annihilate the demons, paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya chaduskritam, dharma samsnapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge, to establish the principles of religion. But ultimately, the Supreme Lord appears in the material world to attract the conditioned souls, for us to go back home, back to Godhead. This nature of the Supreme Lord, this compassionate nature of the Supreme Lord, is one of the foremost. Conditioned souls like us, we want to enjoy the material world to the highest degree. But then Lord Krishna, knowingly that we're not going to be satisfied in this material world, because as living spirit, Jiva Atma, our nature is not compatible with the material energy. We cannot be fully satisfied. So the Lord comes, and when he comes, he's called Avatar. Avatar means one who descends from the spiritual world, and his expansions or his different forms in the material world is compared to the waves in the ocean. You cannot count the waves in the ocean. It is unlimited. So when Lord Krishna comes, he comes in different forms. It says in the Shastras that as many as there are species of life, which according to the Shastra, there are 8,400,000 species of life. So the Lord comes in that many forms as well. Now we take birth and different forms due to our desires and to our activities and to what we are thinking at the time of death. Usually what we think at the time of death is what we are thinking in our day-to-day activities. So if a person or a jiva, especially in human platform, thinks of sense enjoyment, material sense enjoyment to satisfy the senses, then at the time of death, the mind will be thinking of trying to fulfill that desire. And therefore, he will take also in one of the 8,400,000 species. He doesn't have a choice. That is predestined by nature. The nature will provide all of these different ingredients, 5 gross and 3 subtle material elements. That is what compose with our body. But the Lord's form, transcendental form, is Satchit Ananda. Satchit Ananda, Vigraha, is full of knowledge, bliss, and eternity. So in this particular form of the Supreme Lord, according to Jayadev Goswami, he is the 4th incarnation of the Supreme Lord. The Lord first come as Matsya or fish, then tortoise, kurma, and so on. And then the 4th incarnation, yes, Varaha, Varaha Dev, the boar incarnation. But the 4th incarnation is this half man, half lion incarnation of the Supreme Lord. This half man, half lion incarnation is never seen before. Even though he is Kalpa avatar. Every Kalpa, that means every 4 ages, the Supreme Lord comes. Satya, Treta, Dvapara, and Kali Yuga, that is considered as one kalpa, one cycle of the time. And the Supreme Lord, Krishna himself, is also considered as an avatar, Krishna and Balaram, 13th and 14th incarnation in the Srimad Bhagavatam, specific scheduled incarnation of the Supreme Lord. But he is not an incarnation. He's the Supreme Lord himself. It's like Balaram also. But for Leela, yes, they came. So they are considered as in the category of Leela avatars. Like Lord Ramachandra is also a Leela avatar. So Nrsimhadev, he comes every kalpa. Every kalpa. And Lord Krishna comes every 1 day of Lord Brahma. And his one day of Lord Brahma is 4.2 billion years. And his night is 4.2 billion years. So he lives like 4. That is his 1 day, 8.4 billion years. And he lived for 311 trillion years. So every day, that means so many kalpas, so many cycles of Satya, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali Yuga happens. But he will come, Lord Krishna, in one day of Lord Brahma. And similarly, this day of Lord Brahma is very, very auspicious because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also came. So, yes, in different kalpas, every kalpa, Lord Nrsimhadev comes, and in different places. That's why in different places, even in this planet, in India, South India specifically, the Supreme Lord appears. Ahobalam is there, one of them. And he goes travel all over the universe also. But specifically, our planet Earth is very, very fortunate for the Supreme Lord to appear. And so the seventh canto, Hare Krishna. The seventh canto, I gave my Shila for Abhishek. Thank you so much. Now they come back. How many? Three? Okay, one, two. Yeah, this is from Ahobalam. I'll show you. This is from Ahobalam, this Shila, which means from that mountain where Lord Nrsimhadev appeared.
Hari, Hari, Hari.
Okay, so you have darshan. There's one more here. A baby Nrsimhadev. You see, looks like a small baby, right? And there's one here, Lakshmi Nrsimhadev. Thank you, Prabhu. Pujari is bringing me back the Shila to put back inside. Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you for the darshan.
Little intermission here. Thanks for the Pujari. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Yes. So the seventh canto, practically the whole seventh canto is about the pastimes of Lord Nrsimhadev and his pure devotee, 5-year-old boy, son of the king of demons. Hiranyakashipu is the king of demons. And yes, Prahlad Maharaj is the best amongst all the devotees. He's the best amongst all the devotees. He's one of the Mahajans, Prahlad Maharaj, even though he's 5-year-old boy. Swayambhu Narada Shambhu, Komara Kapilo Manu, Prahlado Janako Bhishmo Balir Vayasaki Vayam. There are 12 Mahajans or authorities in Dharma or the eternal religion of the living beings, the Jiva, Jaiva Dharma, which is to serve the Supreme Lord. So he is very, very dedicated. His absorption of the Supreme Lord is to the highest degree that the Supreme Lord appeared because of him. To be true to the words of his pure devotee, the Supreme Lord appeared. So the first 10 chapters of this Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, explains about the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, Lord Nrsimhadev, along with his pure devotee. And in the first chapter, especially, there was a question. Actually, the whole 7th canto practically is about Narad Muni, narration between Narad Muni and Yudhishthir Maharaj, because Yudhishthir Maharaj is put into throne after the battle of Kurukshetra. And within that conversation, there is also a question and answer between Sukadev Goswami, and Parikshit Maharaj. The whole Srimad Bhagavatam is about conversations between great personalities like Maitreya and Vidura. Narad Muni practically is always there. As Prabhupada says, you can see Narad Muni in every page of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So in the first canto is entitled, The Supreme Lord is Equal to Everyone. There is this sacrifice, Rajasuya sacrifice, which is to be held by Yudhishthira Maharaj to atone for the sin of killing so many soldiers in the Battle of Kurukshetra. So the king has been enthroned, Yudhishthira Maharaj, after the Battle of Kurukshetra. So he wanted to perform this sacrifice, Rajasuya sacrifice. And the first ritual is about Agrayagya, to worship the topmost personality in the assembly, who is worthy of being the most worshipable person because he is considered as the topmost. He's the highest, most respected personality. And therefore, Sahadev, he raised his hand and he suggested that it should be Lord Krishna. Because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all the Pandavas knew that he is a Supreme Personality of Godhead along with Queen Kunti. Now there is this one personality who was there. His name was Shishupal. Shishupal is a cousin brother of Lord Krishna. The mother of Shishupal and the mother of Krishna, Devaki, they are sisters. So they're cousins, relative, very close. And somehow or other, at the time when Shishupal took birth, he had 4 arms. 4 arms. Now that is very unusual because, planet Earth, 5,000 years ago, a person who has 4 arms is very unusual. So at the same time, there was a voice from the sky saying to the mother of Shishupal that the first person whom your son will see, and that will make his 2 arms disappeared, that person will be the cause of the death of your son. So as relatives, Lord Krishna came with some gifts for Shishupal. Is a matter of gesture, goodwill gesture. But then, as soon as Shishupal saw Krishna, his 2 arms disappeared. So now, immediately, the mother of Shishupal understood that Krishna will be the cause of the death of his son. And as a mother, he wanted to protect the son. So he asked Krishna that, please, whatever happens, don't kill him, because there was a voice from the sky saying that, yes, the person whom my son will see and make his 2 arms disappear will be the cause of his death. So I don't want my son to die in your hands. And Lord Krishna says, yes, definitely. However, his insults, if it passes over 100, that will be the cause of his death. That will be the cause of his death. So now, the mother of Shishupal trained Shishupal to be very gentle, be very respectful, as much as possible, trying to brought him up to be a good man, an ideal personality. But somehow, within the heart of Shishupal, he was very, very envious of Krishna. So right from the beginning, he started to blaspheme him, disrespect him, criticize him. And now in this part of the Rajasuya sacrifice, he already did 99 insults towards Lord Krishna. And then when he was proclaimed, Sahadev, one of the 5 Pandavas, wanted to elect and chose Krishna to be the proper recipient of the first worship, so that to initiate the Rajasuya sacrifice, Shishupal, he started to insult again. This is the 100th now, the 100th insult. He said that Krishna, you have 2 fathers. How is that? How can you have 2 fathers? No one in this world have 2 fathers except you, which is true. Krishna had 2 fathers, who? Vasudeva and Nandabhava. He is Vasudeva Nandana, and he's also Nandanandana, Devaki Nandana and Yasumati Nandana. So yes, we don't even know what is your caste. You don't belong to any caste. We don't know whether you're a Vaishya or you're a Kshatriya. Who are you? We don't know, which is true, because in Vrindavan, he was born in the Vaishya family. His father, King Nanda Maharaj, his mother Yasoda, they were the topmost Vaishya there, 900,000 cows and so many properties, land for agrarian cultivation, grains. And in Dwarka is Satriya. So which one is you? And then he says, yes, you're so lusty, you have 16,108 queens. You're not satisfied with just one wife. What is this? So one after another, the insults are there, but these insults are actually like indirectly, he's glorifying the Supreme Lord. That's true. He doesn't take birth. So these 2 fathers are external, Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva. He doesn't have a caste. He doesn't belong to any caste, because his Satchitananda is full of knowledge, bliss, and eternity. Is beyond the Varnashram. 16,108 wives. Krishna is just fulfilling the desires of his devotees. And ultimately, they are expansions of Lakshmi Devi, or the expansions of Shrimati Radharani. So indirectly, he is actually glorifying the Supreme Lord. But then 100 insults were over. And then he started to insult Sahadev. Now that is a different one now. The insult, the 101 insult is not to Lord Krishna, it's to Sahadev. And Lord Krishna cannot take the insult. If his devotee is being insulted, then Lord Krishna is the one who feels the pain, and he cannot forgive ultimately who is insulting his devotee. So with his chakra, laser sharp chakra, he released and cut the head of Shishupal without any blood. Why? No blood spilled. Because if there is one drop of blood spilled to the ground, then ultimately the sacrifice will be spoiled and they have to move to a different place. It'll take longer time because the preparation is months. It's not so easy to do this yajna. So everything was sacred, nothing happened to spoil the yajna. But then everyone saw that there is this spirit, light, came out of the body of Shishupal and entered into the body of Lord Krishna, entered into the body of Lord Krishna, specifically his lotus feet. So now, everyone was surprised. And Parikshit Maharaj was asking about this, because this type of having killed by the Supreme Lord and at the same time merging into the body of the Supreme Lord is what you call Sayuja Mukti, merging into the body or merging. There are 5 kinds of liberation. There is Salokya, Sarsiti, Samipya, having the same form of the Supreme Lord, having the same opulence of the Supreme Lord, having the same feature of the Supreme Lord, living in the same planet of the Supreme Lord. And Sayuja is considered as hellish for the devotees because there is no activities there, there's no service. And it says that one will come back again to the material world. One will come back again to the earthly planet to perform this again, restart again until you come to the bhakti platform. So now, Parikshit Maharaj was asking Sukadev Goswami, you said that the Lord is impartial. That means he's equal to everyone. Samoham sarva bhutesu namedvishyostriya priya. He's dear to everyone. No one is his enemy. No one is his friend. He treats everyone equally. He sees everyone in equal vision. But specifically, though, he favors his devotees. If a person is killed by Lord Krishna, then that person will attain this Sayuja Mukti. But this personality is different, Shishupal, because he is one of the doorkeepers of Lord Narayan in the spiritual world. He is one of the doorkeepers in Vaikunta. There are 7 gates before entering Vaikunta. And in the 7th gate, there is Jai and Vijay. They're the one who guards for anyone who will be like intruders, who is not supposed to be there. So it goes back again to these pastimes. And yes, the Supreme Lord is equal to everyone, but he favors more his devotee. And then the narration of the pastimes of Jai and Vijay in the material in the Vaikunta, whereby the 4 Kumaras, Sanak, Sanandan, Sanak, yes, they all came. They're like they were born from the mind of Lord Brahma. They're the first living beings born from the mind of Lord Brahma. And they were asked by Lord Brahma to procreate, to expand the population of the universe. But then they don't want to follow that. They're Brahmavadis. They are realized souls. And somehow or other, they're not on the level of bhaktas yet. They're very inquisitive and they want to go and visit Lord Narayan, to Vaikunta, wanted to see him, wanted to have his darshan. And so they entered Vaikunta, or they tried to enter Vaikunta, but they were stopped by Jai and Vijay, thinking that they're just merely babies, children. They look like 5-year-old boys as well. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, many devotees are like this, and 5-year-old boys. Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, 4 Kumaras. But the 4 Kumaras, they're not 5-year-old boys. They're like millions and millions of years old. But they look like 5-year-old boys because of their being austere and chose not to follow their father to procreate. So they eternally look like a young boy, look young boy. So they were stopped, says, you're not supposed to be here. They don't even wear anything. No, nothing. They're completely naked. Like, they're beyond the body. They're in the Atma platform, Brahman platform. So the 4 Kumaras says, why are you stopping us? Actually, you're the one who's not supposed to be here. So that made the 4 Kumaras became angry. And there was some issue of going back and forth, back and forth. So they were cursed to take birth in the material world by the 4 Kumaras. Meanwhile, actually, Lord Narayan, he knew what's going on, so he came out and he expressed his responsibility for the actions of his servants, this Jai and Vijay, and he gave them a choice. You want to take birth as a demon or a devotee? As a devotee, you will have 7 births, 7 times. Or as demons, then you will have 3 lifetimes. Which one you want to choose? But they're very clever. They're very, very intelligent, Jai and Vijay, that they want to come back immediately to their service. So, yes, then he asked them, which one do you want? And they chose 3 lifetimes to be demons. See, the Lord, when he performs something, he is accomplishing many, many things all at the same time. This was actually arranged by the Supreme Lord so that he wanted to exhibit his fighting spirit. And he wanted to come to the material world in different forms, in different ways. Then in this way, he'll be able to interact with his devotees and attract the conditioned souls to go back home, back to Godhead. So the first birth of this Jai and Vijay is Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. Hiranyaksha means one whose eyes is always looking for gold. That means looking for material sense enjoyment. And he is the elder brother of Hiranyakashipu. And we've heard that past times also, where Hiranyaksha, he put the planet Earth to the bottom of the nether region. And then that will be the cause of how Lord Varaha appeared. Lord Varaha appeared from the nostril of Lord Brahma. And first he was like that size of the tip of your thumb. And then he became big, 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 big. Lord Varaha's form is that of a boar, like a pig. There are 2 incarnations of the Lord in the form of Varaha or boar incarnations. One is whitish, Sweta Varaha, and there is the red color of Lord Varaha. So there was a fight, of course. The nether region is supposed to be like not so clean, and the Lord has to come in that form to pick up the planet Earth and put back to its orbit. And Hiranyaksha was there, who's actually asking everyone for fight. And no one would like to fight with him because he's so ferocious. He's always like so boastful and so proud. And then one day, one of the demigods says, one day you will meet your counterpart. So Lord Varaha was there. So he was killed by Lord Varaha. And somehow the body was brought to the place where Hiranyakashipu and his family were residing. Now, Hiranyakashipu means, again, gold, Hiranya, gold, or sense enjoyment, and soft bed, Kashipu, soft bed. The Hiranyakashipu, who is the brother of Hiranyaksha, he felt so much grief, so much pain and sufferings because of this, what happened. So he declared that he will kill Lord Vishnu. The first thing he did is he stopped all the brahmanas, all the sacrifices, all the yagyas, because he knew that Lord Vishnu, he takes his food or he eats from the hands of the brahmanas when they do swaha, swaha, swaha. That's the time when Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu will have his offerings from the brahmanas. So when it was stopped, then Hiranyakashipu was thinking, then Vishnu will appear. I know he's hiding right now because he just killed my brother. And I'm going to avenge the death of my brother. And the family members are also grief-stricken. They're all crying. But then Hiranyakashipu, even he's a demon, he's the king of demons. He knew the science of the soul. He knew that we are not this body, we're spirit souls. And we are beyond this. So he told a story of another age. That there was a king and somehow or other, the queens also were crying because the king died, but then Yamaraj came and then he says that, well, why are you crying? The king's body is there. There's no need for you to cry. Yeah, but he's not there. Oh, okay, if he's not there, then why you're crying? So in this way, somehow Hiranyakashipu managed to pacify his family members. And now he decided to become immortal. He wanted to become immortal. He wanted to not to die. And so he performed austerities for thousands of years compared to our earthly time scale. He went to Mandarachala mountain and there he performed great austerities. He doesn't eat at all. He was just like breathing air. And he stood on the tip of his toes and his arms raised going to the sky. And his austerity is so severe that the fire from his body started to come out from the top of his head. And it was scorching heat. Like right now in the Middle East, it's like melting, sweltering. I was speaking with one devotee from Qatar, Shiva Thakur Prabhu, and he said, oh, so hot right now. Unlike here in India, it's not so hot because of this cyclone. So the whole universe became disturbed. Especially the demigods in the Swargaloka, they became disturbed and they thought that if this is not going to stop, everyone will die. Everyone will die. So please, they asked Lord Brahma, please try to stop this. This is not good. They asked Lord Brahma that, oh, if he continues, then we will be finished. So Lord Brahma came to the place, Mandarachala Hill, and he saw there is a mound of earth. Actually, the body of Hiranyakashipu cannot be easily recognized because it's practically no more flesh, only bones. His flesh, his body has been eaten by ants, but still the Atma is still there. And in that mound of earth, with his Kamandalu, Lord Brahma, he put water, sprinkle water around that area. And lo and behold, the body of Hiranyakashipu emerged, so effulgent, golden color, not like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's golden, but there is some resemblance of golden complexion. Very effulgent due to his austerities. Now, meanwhile, while Hiranyakashipu was doing this austerities to become immortal, the wife, Kayadu, she was pregnant. And the demigods, they took advantage of this, headed by King Indra. So they kidnapped Kayadu, knowingly that there is an unborn baby in her womb. And their plan is that as soon as the child will take birth, then they will kill the child, because they thought that this child could be much worse of a demon than his father. But then, out of a sudden, out of the blue, out of nowhere, Narad Muni appeared, and Narad Muni stopped demigods from their plan. He says, no, you cannot keep her. I will take her, because you don't know who is in the womb of this mother. He's a Mahabhagavat. Mahabhagavat means topmost devotee, a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord, dear most devotee, servant of the Supreme Lord. So Narad Muni brought Kayadu into his ashram in Narada Kund. This is in Vrindavan, near Kusuma Sarovar. Most of you who've been to Vrindavan, you did parikrama. I'm sure you'll notice Kusuma Sarovar on your right-hand side after the town of Radhakund, going around parikrama. A very nice place, the place where the gopis will collect flowers, and they make flowers for Radha and Krishna. And it says that anyone who takes deep or bath in this pond of water, reservoir of water, will also attain that form of eternal form in the spiritual world. So in Narada Kund, there is a small kund where Narad Muni stays in Vrindavan, where he wrote this Narad Bhakti Sutra, or many of the rasa sastras. And for many thousands of years, as long as Hiranyakashipu was doing his tapasya, Narad Muni was narrating the Srimad Bhagavatam. And within Prahlad Maharaj, he's also able to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam, the narration of Narad Muni. And he refused to get out of the womb of his mother, not until the Srimad Bhagavatam narration was over. Only then that he came out of the womb of his mother. And now, Hiranyakashipu's austerity is over, but then Lord Brahma was telling him, because of your austerity, I want to give you a boon. Usually, this is the scenario. The devotees also perform austerities, But their austerities is not for material gain or some mystic power, but to increase their love towards the Supreme Lord. It's like we perform Ekadasi Brata, or we perform chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. This is the greatest austerity in Kali Yuga. But not to increase our material desires, but to give up our material desires, become purified, and ultimately develop love for Krishna. But Hiranyakasipu's purpose is not like this. His purpose is to become immortal. So he asked Lord Brahma to give him the boon of not to die, to become immortal. And Lord Brahma says, what? This cannot be, because I myself is not immortal. I have to die also after 311 trillion years. It's not possible. So now Hiranyakashipu becomes so clever, so intelligent, over intelligent. So he wanted to kind of go around and not to have his plan to become immortal be stopped or curtailed. So he asked Lord Brahma, I want the boon that I may not die either day or night. I want to not to die either in land or in the sky or in water. I don't want to die, that no one can kill me from be the cause of my death as a human being or a beast. I don't want to die that my cause of death will be of any weapons. I don't want to die that my cause of death will be either outside or inside. So he gave so many reasons for him not to die, and Lord Brahma, you just say tatastu, so be it, knowingly that no one can cheat the Supreme Lord. We can cheat ourselves or others, but we cannot cheat the Supreme Lord ultimately. So now Hiranyakashipu become more stronger after this austerity. His body is like a thunderbolt. It's like practically no one can kill him. So he wanted to exercise his power. So he went to Indraloka. He took the seat of Lord Indra. He wanted to have all the demigods become his menial servants. Yes, everybody became, all the demigods became Hiranyakashipu's servants, except Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. So now, Hiranyakashipu, it was very, very dear to his son. His son, Prahlad Maharaj, is like the favorite son of Hiranyakashipu. And he wanted Prahlad Maharaj to be the topmost demon, a better demon than himself. So he sent him to the school of the Guru. They have also Gurukul. A real Gurukul means spiritual, so that the student will become strong in moral and values, become strong personality, be Krishna conscious. But the demons, they have a Gurukul also. The Gurukul is headed by Sukracharya, but the teachers are Shanda and Amarka, his two sons, the sons of Sukracharya, is the priest of the demons. So all the students there also, they're all sons of demons. But actually they became purified because of the purity of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj's purity is incomparable. He was completely cultured as a qualified Brahmana, having very good character and having been determined to understand the absolute truth. He had full control of his senses and mind, unlike the sons of the other demons. They're like the opposite. Like the super soul, this is Prahlad Maharaj's description. Like the super soul, he was kind to every living entity and was the best friend of everyone. To respectable persons, he acted exactly like a menial servant. To the poor, he was like a father. To his equals, he was attached like a sympathetic brother. And he considered his teachers, spiritual masters, and elder God brothers to be as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was completely free from unnatural pride that might have arisen from his good education, riches, beauty, aristocracy, and so on. This is the description of Prahlad Maharaj according to Narad Muni. He was explaining it to Maharaj Yudhisthira. So, yes, he's a very saintly personality. And in the classroom, he was teaching actually his friends, teaching them how to become saintly personalities, to realize about the absolute truth. Because it's not possible to understand the Supreme Lord if our senses are uncontrolled. So we have to control the senses, we have to control the mind, and we have to approach the spiritual master. That's why when Prahlad Maharaj was asked by his father, "My dear son, what have you learned in school today?" And I was telling this to the other class. I'm sure many of you had or still having this experience. Those who are grihastas, you have a child goes to school, and then when the child will come back, you will pat his head and smell his head and put him on your lap and ask him, "My dear child, what did you learn from the school today? Tell me." Is that true? Many of you did that also. I'm sure you do. So, yes. So Prahlad Maharaj was asked by his father, Hiranyakashipu. Says, "My dear son, what have you learned in school today?" And then his reply, "Tat sadhu manye suravarya dehinam sada samudvignadiyam asadgrahat hitbat mapatam griham andakupam vanam gatoyat darim asrayeta." O best of the asuras, king of the demons, as far as I have learned from my spiritual master, because indirectly, Hiranyakashipu, what have you learned from your guru? But according to Prahlad Maharaj, his guru is Narad Muni. He never considered Sanda and Amarka to be his gurus. That is way, way out of the line. Because what they're teaching is contrary to the principles of religion. So this is what Prahlad Maharaj have learned from his guru. Any person who has accepted a temporary body and temporary household life is certainly embarrassed by anxiety because of having fallen in a dark well where there is no water but only suffering. One should give up this position and go to the forest, Vana. More clearly, one should go to Vrindavana, where only Krishna consciousness is prevalent, and should thus take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is is giving advice based from the teachings of Narad Muni. Prahlad Maharaj was telling his father that this body is temporary. the material world is not false, but it is real. It is real. It's like, these objects are real, but it is temporary. It doesn't last long. Even our relationship in this material world, and this family that we have right now, is only as long as the body is alive. Because as soon as the body dies, that means the soul give it up and goes to another form of species of life. If it's material or if it's spiritual, it doesn't have to come back again in this material world. So everything is real, but at the same time, it is temporary. Even our relationship is only in this lifetime. Once we die, we take birth again in a different womb of a different mother, and we will be in a different family if we continues our existence. So, is certainly embarrassed by anxiety. Yes, we're always in anxiety because this is the place of kunta, place of miseries, place of anxiety. There is another place where have you been? Once you've been there, you don't have to come back again. Yat gatbana nibartante taddama paramamama. Once you go back to the spiritual world, then you don't have to come back to this miserable and place of anxiety. That place is called Vaikunta. 3/4 of the kingdom of God comprise of this comprise two parts, the material world and the spiritual world. Material world, 1/4, 3/4, spiritual world. Less than 10% of the living beings, jivas, are here in the material world. Over 90% is in the spiritual world. We are the minorities here, conditioned souls. So one should give up this position because of the temporary nature of the world. The Grihastha ashram is compared to having fallen in a dark well where there is no water but only suffering. So we have to take guidance from a spiritual master or those who are advanced spiritually and give up that position, go to the forest. This is what you call retired life. In the Grihastha ashram, when the children are already grown up and it's time now, according to the Shastra, is at the age of 50, the husband and wife may travel to these different holy places, and for that matter, resides in Vrindavan, where the practice of Krishna consciousness is very simple and practical, easy to apply, and very easy to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, very easy. All the processes of devotional service is very easily accomplished. So one should go specifically, Prabhupada says, to Vrindavan. Vrindavan. Now, for many of you, you may not be able to go to Vrindavan that quickly or that much. So while still in the Grihastha ashram, you can have your place of residence be like Vrindavan. If you worship the Supreme Lord, you chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, make your life spiritually surcharged, offer your foodstuffs to the Supreme Lord, perform sadhana bhakti, rise up early in the morning, then you can turn your place or ashram to be Vrindavan. And actually Vrindavan is within our hearts. So in this way, he was instructing his schoolmates. He was instructing his schoolmates. And also, yeah, this is what he told to his father. So his father became alarmed. So alarmed. He was thinking that, what is this? Where did he learn this from? He was thinking that, oh, this place, the Gurukul, must be infiltrated by Vaishnavas, devotees of Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. So he called Sanda Enamarka, Hiranyakashipu, chastise Sanda Enamarka. What are you teaching to my son? This is not what I'm expecting you to teach my son. You better be sure that you teach him the rule of divide. The rule of divide. Teach him how to be an expert demon, how to cheat more, how to be dishonest. All of these things, how to increase his material desires, all of these things. He wanted to be like himself. Prahlad Maharaj would like to be like himself, Hiranyakashipu. So days pass by again. And then later on, he asked again his son, my dear son, what have you learned from the school today? And then Prahlad Maharaj says, Sravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Bandanam Dasyang Shakyang Atma Nivedanam Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu Bhaktischennava Kriyate Bhagavate Adha Tanmanye Ditang Uttamam. Hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto him. In other words, serving him with the body, mind, and words. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through these 9 methods should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. So if you look on this verse, is in the 5th chapter, text 23 and 24 of the 7th canto. Prabhupada gave a very elaborate purport, very, very long. Must be the longest purport in the whole of the Srimad Bhagavatam. These 2 verses, and try to study them, try to understand it, and try to apply it to yourself. These 9 processes of devotional service, starting from hearing and chanting, which is the most essential, very, very important, hearing and chanting, especially Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this day and age of Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga, this is the most practical, most easiest way to serve the Supreme Lord, through hearing and chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And we should do this continuously, 24 hours a day. That doesn't mean that we don't chant if we don't have our japamala with us. We can still chant. We can chant with our mind, we can chant softly, and we can do kirtan also loudly. It's like Haridas Thakur, he would do kirtan loudly, or Kolavecha Sridhar. So, Prahlad Maharaj, he continues to his father, he was telling his father, Matirna Krishne parato satobha mito vipatyate griha vratanam adanta gopir bijatang tamishram puna punas charbita charbananam. Because of their uncontrolled senses, persons too addicted to materialistic life make progress toward hellish conditions and repeatedly chew that which has already been chewed. Their inclination toward Krishna are never aroused either by the instruction of others, by their own efforts, or by a combination of both. So this is one of the main reasons that's why we're not able to understand or become inclined towards Lord Krishna, because our senses is being uncontrolled. They become addicted to materialistic ways of trying to enjoy the sense objects with the senses, and therefore, instead of upgrading ourselves, we degrade ourselves and we go to the hellish condition of life. And Prabhupada gave an example. It's like chewing the chewed. It's like, sugar cane. What can you enjoy? You don't get any more rust. There's no more juice, but people are still chewing that, chewing, but nothing coming out, no more juice. So it's a waste of time. And therefore, Prahlad Maharaj continues, he says to Hiranyakashipu, Nate vito swargatim hi Vishnu, durasaya ye bahir artamanina, andaya tandayat upaniyamanas te pisa tantriyam urudhamni badha. Persons who are strongly entrapped by the consciousness of enjoying material life and who have therefore accepted as their leader or guru a similar blind man attached to external sense objects cannot understand that the goal of life is to return home back to Godhead and engage in the service of Lord Vishnu. Nati vidu swartagatim hi Vishnu. They cannot understand. They don't have any real interest into what is the ultimate goal of life. As blind men, guided by another blind man, miss the right path and fall into a ditch, materially attached men led by another materially attached man are bound by the ropes of fruitive labor, which are made of very strong cords, and they continue again and again in materialistic life, suffering the threefold miseries. So it's like here, he's preaching to Hiranyakashipu, my dear father, king of the demons, don't waste your life. You are in a material pursuit, but you cannot really be happy with the material pursuit because you're just chewing the chewed. You're like amongst the others. You don't know the goal of life, which is to obtain love of God. And then Prahlad Maharaj gave an answer how to counteract this. Naisang matis tavad urukramang grim sparshita anatarpagamo yad arta mahiyasam padarajo bishekam niskinchananam nabrinita yabat. Unless they smear upon their bodies the dust of the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, completely freed from material contamination. Persons very much inclined toward materialistic life cannot be attached to the lotus feet of the Lord, who is glorified for his uncommon activities. Only by becoming Krishna conscious and taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, in this way, one can be freed from material contamination. So that is the answer. We should take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, learn from him the absolute truth, serve him with great humility, inquire from him submissively, and in this way he will also impart the knowledge to us, which knowledge when we hear will cleanse our heart. Chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, read Bhagavad Gita every day, hear from the advanced devotees about the science of the absolute truth, and therefore this is our ticket to go back home, back to Godhead. Ticket to where we will be going. There is no more coming back in this miserable world. So Prahlad Maharaj is telling this, that this is what I've learned. But actually, he did not learn this from Santa and Amarka. He learned this from Narad Muni. So now, and the 6th chapter, he was teaching also his fellow Asura Jana, those who are sons of the demoniac personalities. He says that Komara acharet pragyo dharmang bhagavat iha durlabang manusam janma tad api adrubang artadam. He was telling them that now that you have come to this human platform, you should use it properly, especially this beginning, very beginning of life. Just try to understand. He's 5 years old, and his friends also, fellow sons of demons, they're also about the same age. And he was telling them, now is the time to start. Because, when you're young, it becomes so easy to understand the subject matter. Practice devotional service, giving up all other engagements. He was saying the human body is most rarely achieved, and although temporary like other bodies, it is meaningful because in human life, one can perform devotional service. And that's true. And this human form of life is the best vehicle from which we can cross over the ocean of material sufferings. In human form of life, our consciousness can be fully developed, and therefore we can make the best out of this life. And it'll be our gateway also, the best vehicle to go back home, back to Godhead. Even a slight amount of sincere devotional service can give one complete perfection. So then it comes to Hiranyakashipu became fed up now. He became fed up. He is not expecting Prahlad Maharaj to tell him all of these things, which is not being taught in the school. So now he understood that Prahlad Maharaj is in the side of Lord Vishnu. And therefore, what kind of father is that? He thought that Prahlad Maharaj will be the obstacle for his future plans to dominate the entire universe. He doesn't want an enemy in his family. So he asked the servants of Hiranyakashipu, to punish as much as possible, try to kill him. They put him on top of the mountain, they threw him on top of the mountain, but Prahlad Maharaj is always meditating, is always absorbed in the Supreme Lord. And so whatever will happen to him, whatever danger will happen to him, Lord Krishna is prepared to protect him. He was put in a pit of very deadly snakes, reptiles, scorpions. Just one bite from those creatures, you will die. But he survived. He was put into a road where big elephants will go and run over here or trample him. He survived, not even a scratch. He was put in a boiling oil, didn't get burned, put into the fire, did not get burned. They offered him cake, very nice decorated cake, but with poison in it. But before Prahlad Maharaj ate the cake, he offered to Krishna, so it becomes prasad. He was pierced by tridents, by those different swords and different sharp weapons. Nothing happened. So now Hiranyakashipu was so frustrated. He was so frustrated. He doesn't know what to do. And then he was asking, where did you get your power from? He was asking Prahlad Maharaj. Hiranyakashipu says, where do you get your power from? I don't understand this. You don't have any fear. The whole entire universe is fearful of me. Just by one movement of my eyebrow, they will all go run away and they will hide. But you don't care at all. Huh? What is this? Where do you get your power from? And oh, Haribol. And the Prahlad Maharaj was saying, oh, it's the same. Same. It was saying the same power. Where you get your power from, my dear father, king of the demons? Where you get your power from is the same. So yes, where is he? And Prahlad Maharaj says, he is everywhere. Everywhere. Really? Now, this is like the culmination of anger of Hiranyakashipu. And he took his sword out and he says, is he in this pillar? And Prahlad Maharaj says, yes, he's there also. So he struck the pillar, and after striking that pillar, a thunderous sound came out. And everyone was looking, where is this sound coming from? So fearful sound, says here, which appeared to crack the covering of the universe. Narad Muni telling to Yudhishthira Maharaj, this sound reached even the abodes of the demigods like Lord Brahma, because this is happening in the earthly planet. And when the demigods heard it, they thought, oh, now our planets are being destroyed. So now, while showing his extraordinary prowess, Hiranyakashipu, who desired to kill his own son, heard that wonderful, tumultuous sound, which had never been heard. Upon hearing the sound, the other leaders of the demons were afraid. None of them could find the origin of that sound in the assembly. They were surprised. Where could this sound be coming from? So, to prove that the statement of his servant Prahlad Maharaj was substantial, in other words, to prove that the Supreme Lord is present everywhere, even within the pillar of an assembly hall, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, exhibited a wonderful form never before seen. The form was neither that of a man nor that of a lion. Thus the Lord appeared in his wonderful form in the assembly hall. Shri Nrsimhadev Bhagavan Ke! While Hiranyakashipu looked around to find the source of the sound, that wonderful form of the Lord, which could not be ascertained to be either a man or a lion, emerged from the pillar. In amazement, Hiranyakashipu wondered, what is this creature that is half man and half lion? So it says that it was daylight time when the Supreme Lord appeared in this form, half man, half lion, Narahari, Nrsimhadev. And somehow fighting started. Fighting started. Lord Nrsimhadev has 16 arms. 16 arms. 8 here and 8 here. So they were fighting. And Hiranyakashipu, he says there that he's just like being played like that of a cat and mouse. You know, the cat first, before killing the mouse, the cat will play with the mouse. With the mouse thinking that, oh no, I can easily defeat this big cat, but it's not possible. And the fight goes on till dusk. It's for a few hours they were fighting. Now no more weapons, only hand-to-hand combat. And somehow dusk means there is this time when it's neither day nor night. Dusk or twilight, the same. So now what happened is that Hiranyakashipu was put on the lap of Nrsimhadev, and he put Hiranyakashipu on the doorway, not outside, not inside, It's not nighttime, not daytime. And Nishingadev is not a beast nor a man. He is half lion, half man. He's not created by Lord Brahma. And neither in the land nor in the sky, because he's on the lap of Lord Nisinghadev. And Lord Nisinghadev bifurcated the body, opened the body of Hiranyakashipu, and he used the intestines of Hiranyakashipu and put it around his neck like a garland. So all of this boon that Hiranyakashipu asked from Lord Brahma was fulfilled. Yes, he did not die neither day or night. He did not die neither by beast, nor by man, nor by any weapons, nor by land or in the air or in the sea. All of this is accomplished, and Hiranyakashipu was killed by the sharp nails of Lord Nisinghadev. So on this day, we should pray to Lord Nisinghadev, because Lord Nisinghadev is the Lord of protection. We pray to him that our Bhakti Lata beads will be protected by getting rid of all the obstacles on the path of devotional service. We should pray to Lord Nisinghadev that our love towards our Guru Bhakti will be protected. We should protect also. We should pray to Lord Nisinghadev that our movement will be protected from the enemies from outside and also enemies from inside. Because in Kali Yuga, it says in the Shastras that demons also, they take birth in the family of Vaishnavas. So some are not so genuine also, but more of our members are genuine. But sometimes Maya can trick us, and Prabhupada says, no one can destroy our movement. If something or someone will destroy our movement, it will come from inside. So we should pray to Lord Nisinghadev to get rid with his chisel-like nails, to open up our hearts and get rid, uproot all of our unwanted desires, our lust, greed, anger, madness, illusion, envy, our laziness, our tendency to speculate, mental speculation, our tendency to be proud, our tendency to be attracted to material desires or increase our material desires or maintaining our material desires. This is the best day to pray to Lord Nisinghadev for his protection. And according to our faith towards the Supreme Lord, the Lord will protect us. That's why when Srila Prabhupada was very sick in the early days, he wrote this song, this Nishingha prayers, the mantra that we sing every day, many times during the day, especially after the artics. And today I must have heard the Nishingha prayers at least a dozen times. And this is the best day to pray to Lord Nisinghadev for protection, especially of what's going on right now in the whole world, this pandemic, this heavy calamity that we are all experiencing, both devotees and non-devotees. We should pray to Lord Nisinghadev to protect our loved ones, our family, our friends. Somehow or other, we want to live a little longer so that we can purify more ourselves. We're not ready yet to go back home, back to Godhead. At least myself, I don't think I'm qualified to go back home, back to Godhead yet. But at least if I purify more of myself by taking shelter more of the holy name of the Lord, serving the Vaishnavas, serving the spiritual master, serving the deities, then I'll become purified somehow, and I may have a chance or become qualified. And whatever lacking, Lord Nrsimhadev will fill up the gap at the end of my life so that I can also go back home, back to Godhead. So this is the prayer of the devotees in this challenging time, that he may protect us, he may protect our movement from any thing that may unavoidable that may happen in the future. So I will stop here now. This whole 7th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam is quite voluminous. We don't have time. I spoke for like almost an hour and a half now, but that is not enough. We can have many sessions on this matter. So if you have any questions or any comments from our listeners in Sharjah, Shamadesh, please do so. Any points, any reflections you may want or like to add, or those who are in Facebook, you can also write your question and I will try to reply. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I think Maharaj, your lecture has really torn all the doubts apart. There's no questions.
Why, you have another program, I suppose?
No, we have some children's classes.
Huh?
They'll be having some children skits now. Children will be.
Oh, that's why. I hope I can watch it, but being up since 3 o'clock this morning.
No, Shivana. No, we are really grateful for your participation and mercy today. I know you've been having a very long day there. And we saw some of the programs in Vrindavan. So.
All right. If you don't have any other question, I'm always happy to have your association, especially you, Radha Baba Gaur Prabhu. You're such an exemplary leader over there. You walk your talk.
Just your servant Maharaj, and all the mercy of you, great Vaishnavas, we are suffering here in these times. Just trying to put our head up in this COVID times. So difficult, so many deaths.
Definitely, it's very trying time for everyone. Not so easy at all, anywhere and everywhere.
Please pray for one of our god sisters, Shruti Mataji's mother, who has passed away. Her name is Vallavi Mataji, and she is a disciple of His Holiness Radharam Swami Maharaj. She just passed away today, a few hours back. So kindly put her in your prayers.
Definitely. We pray for everyone, those who have passed away, those who are still around us, to give us the strength to be fearless. Just like Prahlad Maharaj, we can only be fearless if we are Krishna conscious, because we know that Krishna will be always on our side. Just like Prahlad Maharaj, he knows that the Lord is always with him, that he is everywhere and he is within. So the Lord reciprocates accordingly to our faith and our surrender unto him. And the only way how we can surrender is to show our dedication by chanting sincerely the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and purify our hearts by hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and other Vedic literatures. So yes, thank you very much, Prabhuji. Till we meet again.
Maharaj. Yeah, from all of us, a big Hare Krishna mantra for your good health also. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Panchakalpatra Chakrapa Sindhubhaiva Chapati Tanam Pavanebhyo.
Jai Ho.
Thank you.
Chaitanya Nimai has a question here.
Who's this? It's not in the Zoom. I think they pushed it. It's in the other forum. Pratish Prabhu, Maharaj is there?
Just no, Maharaj has left.
Okay. Can we have Gaurangi Mataji's schedule to the children to start?
Okay, Prabhu, just a minute. Okay. Hare Krishna, Vishaka.
Hare Krishna. Dear devotees,
Hare-
Hare Krishna. We wish you
Hare
a
Krishna,
happy Narsimha Chaturthi. Let us begin our prayers with Narsimha Pranams, with the kids singing by Vyasya, Charumati, Sujit, and Ekansh. Yes, Prabhu.
So this is your
Continue, Vishaka.
Spotlight Vyasya.
Hare Krishna.
Narsimha, Jai Jai Narsimha, Praladesha, Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma, Brinda, Namaste Narasimhaya, Namaste वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहम्। विघ्नविनाश भगवान जी की जय। भक्तराज प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। प्रभुपाद की जय। गुरु महाराज की जय। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna, Radha Prabhu. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity.
Hari Hari, all Guru Maharaj mercy. May all you Bhaktins and Bhaktas become wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis of Shamadesh in future. And of course, you are already there, but still, I'm wishing you a very, very happy, fantastic future for all. Okay? And best wishes from all of us in Shamadesh. Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you, Prabhu. Let us pray to Lord Narsimha to protect our devotion, to always engage us in Radha and Krishna's eternal service. We're going to recite Narsimha Kavacham. Narsimha Kavacham Vakshe Prahladenoditam Pura Sarvaraksha-karam punyam Sarvobhadravanashanam Sarvasampatkaram chaiva Swargamoksha-pradayakam Dhyatva Narsimham Devesham Hemasinhasanaspitam Vivridasyam Trinayanam Sharatindu Samaprabham Lakshmya-lingita-mamangam Vibhuti-virupashritam Chaturbhujam komalangam Swarnakundala-shobhitam Saroj-shobhito-raskam Ratnakeyuramudritam Tapta-kanchana-sankasham Pita-nirmala-vasasam Indradi-suramaulishtha Spuran-manikya-diptibhi Virajita-padadvantam Sankachakradihetibihi Garudmatacha-vinaya Suyamanam-mudanvitam Swarit-kamala-sanvasam Kritva-tu kavacham patet Narsimho me shirapatu Loka-rakshata-sambhavaha Sarvago-agi-stambhavasa Phalam me rakshatu dhvanim Narsimho me drishau patu Soma-surya-vilochanaha Smritam me patu narahari Munivarya-stuti-priyaha Nasam me simha-nashastu Lakshmi-mukha-priyaha Sarva-vidyadi-papatu Narsimho-rasanam mama Bhaktam patu vindu-vadanam Sada prahlada-vanditaha Narsimha patu me kandam Skandau tu pritanandakrit Divya-sarshobhito bhujau Narsimha patu me bhujau Karau me deva varadau Narsimha patu sarvataha Hridayam yogi sadhyascha Nivasam matu me hari Madhyam patu hiranyaksha Vaksha-tukshi vidaranaha Nabhim me patu narahari Swanabhim brahma samsutaha Brahmanda-kote akatyam Yasyasau patu me katim Guhyam me patu guhyanam Mantranam guhya-rupadrik Uru manobhavaha patu Januni nara-rupadrik Jange patu darabara Artayo saumrikeshari Suraraja-prada-pado Padau me nara-ishvara Sahasra-shirša-purusha Pado me sarva-shastanam Mahagraha-purvata patu Mahavira-gajo-arpita Mahavishnu-dakshinetur Mahajvara-sunairita Paschim me patu sarveshu Dishi me sarvatomukha Narsimha patu vayabhyam Saumyan-bhushana-vigraha Ishanam patu bhadro me sarva-mangala-dayakaha Samsara-vaida patu mrityur-mrityur-maheshari Idam Narsimha kavacham Prahlada-mukha-manditam Bhaktimanya-pate nityam Sarva-papai-pramuchyate Putra-vandalavan loke Dirghayu-apachayate Kamayate yam kamam tam prapnoti asamshayam Sarvatra janapnoti sarvatra vijayi bhavet भूमि अंतरिक्ष दिव्यानां ग्रहाणां विनिवारणं वृश्चिकोरसम्भूता विशापहरणं परं ब्रह्म राक्षस यक्षाणां दुरोत्सारणकारणं भुजे वातलपत्रे वा कवचं लिखितं शुभं करं मूले धृतं येन सिद्धेयो कर्म सिद्धया देवासुरमनुष्येषु स्वं समेव जयं लभेत् एकसन्ध्यं त्रिसन्ध्यं वा यः पठेन्यतो नरः सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्यं मुक्तिमुक्षिं च विन्दति द्वात्रिंशति सहस्राणि पठेत् सिद्धात्मनां नृणां कवचस्यास्य मन्त्रस्य मन्त्रसिद्धिः प्रजायते अनेन मन्त्रराजेन कृत्वा भस्माभिमन्त्रणां तिलकं विन्यस्यस्तु तस्य ग्रहं वयं हरेत् त्रिवारं जपमानस्तु दत्तं वाराभिमन्त्र च प्रसयेयो नरो मन्त्रं नरसिंहध्यानमाचरे तस्य रोगः प्रणश्यन्ति यशस्युमुखिसम्भवः गर्जन्तं गार्जयन्तं निजभुजपटलं स्फोटयन्तं मदन्तं रूपयन्तं तापयन्तं दिविभुवि दिविजं क्षेपयन्तं क्षिपन्तं क्रन्दन्तं रोषयन्तं दिशि सततं संवरन्तं वरन्तं वीक्षन्तं पूर्णयन्तं कर्णिकर्षते दिव्यसिंहं नमामि गर्जन्तं गार्जयन्तं निजभुजपटलं स्फोटयन्तं मदन्तं रूपयन्तं तापयन्तं दिविभुवि दिविजं क्षेपयन्तं क्षिपन्तं क्रन्दन्तं रोषयन्तं दिशि सततं संवरन्तं वरन्तं वीक्षन्तं पूर्णयन्तं कर्णिकर्षते दिव्यसिंहं नमामि गर्जन्तं गार्जयन्तं निजभुजपटलं स्फोटयन्तं मदन्तं रूपयन्तं तापयन्तं दिविभुवि दिविजं क्षेपयन्तं क्षिपन्तं क्रन्दन्तं रोषयन्तं दिशि दिशि सततं संवरन्तं वरन्तं वीक्षन्तं पूर्णयन्तं कर्णिकर्षते दिव्यसिंहं नमामि इति श्री ब्रह्मांड पुराणे प्रहलादोक्तं श्री नरसिंह कवचं सम्पूर्णम् श्रं बीजं मे शिरा पातु चन्द्रो वदनो महामनुः श्री नरसिंह जय जय नरसिंह उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् वगीर्षि यस्य वदने लक्ष्मीर्यस्य च वक्षसि यस्य हृदये संवित् तं नरसिंहं भजे श्री नरसिंह जय जय नरसिंह प्रहलादेश जय पद्ममुख पद्मभृङ्ग ओम नमो भगवते तुभ्यां पुरुषाय महात्मने अरे अद्भुत सिंहाय ब्रह्मणे परमात्मने उग्रापि अनुग्रहेवाय स्वभक्तानां नृकेशरी केशरी व स्वपोतानाम् अन्ये समुग्र विक्रमः विदिक्षु दिक्षुर्गं समन्नादे अन्तर्बहिर्भगवान् नरसिंहः प्रापये लिखे वयं स्वनेह स्वतेज सहस्र समस्त तेजः अज्ञानात् तवज्ञानं दशुभं यन्मया कृतं शान्तिम् अर्हसि तत्सैवं दासेनेव गृहेण मां सिति सेवगतिर्यत्र स्मृतिश्चिन्तस्तुतिर्वचः भूयात् सर्वात्मना विष्णुं मध्यं त्वयि चेष्टितम् अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते अहर्निशं मया दासोऽमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व मधुसूदन प्रतिज्ञा तव गोविन्द नामे भक्तप्रणश्यति इति संस्कृत्य प्राणां सौन्दर्याम् नरसिंह कवचम की जय।
Tell the meaning of that verse.
Okay. Okay. Let us recite the 5 prayers written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Within my sinful heart, the 6 enemies headed by lust perpetually reside, as well as duplicity, the desire for fame plus sheer cunning. As the lotus feet of Lord Narsimha, I hope he will mercifully purify my heart and give me the desire to serve Lord Krishna. You come this side.
Sorry, sir.
Sorry, Prabhu, for the delay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. Close.
Closest down and up.
Okay. E dushtare daya kama adiri puchaya.
Hridaya kama adi puchaya.
Koti nati pratishta sa satya sadaraya.
Koti pratishta
Satya sadaraya. E dushtare daya kama adiri puchaya.
Hridaya kama adi puchaya.
Koti nati pratishta sa satya sadaraya.
Koti nati pratishta sadaraya.
Hridaya shodana ara krishnera vasana.
Hridaya sodana ara krishna rasana.
Narsimha charani mora to kamana. Narsimha charani mora to kamana. Kandiya narsimha pade magi boka kana.
Kandiya narsimha pade magi boka kana.
Meera pade navadvipe jugala bhajana.
Meera pada navadvipa jagala bhajana.
Baya 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 Randra darshani se hari.
Baya baya baya
Randra darshani se hari. Prasanna hoi bhokabe mora daya kori. Prasanna hoi bhokabe mora daya kori. Yadyapi bishana murti dushta jiva prati. Yadyapi bishana murti dushta jiva prati. Lalagadi Krishna Bhakta Jane Bhadrati.
Lalagadi Krishna Bhakta Jana Bhadrati.
Kabiva Prasanna Hoye Sakripa Vachane.
Kabeva Prasanna Hoye Sakripa Vachane.
Nirvaya Karive Muda Akinchane.
Nirvaya Karive Muda Akinchane.
Swachande Vaishavo Evaksa Shri Gauranga Dami.
Swachande Vaishavo Evaksa Shri Gauranga Dami.
Jugala Bhajana Rati Ho Nami.
Jugala Bhajana Rati Ho Nami.
Mama Bhakta Kripa Kare Dura.
Mama Bhakta Kripa Kare Vigna Dura.
Shuddha Chitte Badura Krishna Rasa Pura.
Shuddha Chitte Badura Krishna Rasa Pura.
E bole kabe mora mastaka upara.
E bole kabe mora mastaka upara.
Siya Shri Charane Asha Gari De Ishvara.
Siya Shri Charana
Ashe Gari De Ishvara. Amani Jugala Preme Satvika Vikare.
Amani Jugala
Preme Satvika Vikare. Daraya Luti Bo Ami Shri Narsimha Dware.
Davayo
Shri Narsimha Dware. E Dushtare Daya Kama Adi Dipochaya.
E Dushta Hridaya Kama Adi Upachaya.
Kuti Nati Pratishta Sa Satya Sadaraya.
Koti Nati Pratishta Satya Sadaraya.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much Prabhu for this wonderful opportunity and letting us serve.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the wonderful narrations. so much nectar on this wonderful day of Narsimha Chaturthi. A big Hare Krishna mantra from all of us in Pradesh. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhu. Please bless us.
Guru Maji and Govinda Prabhuji and team. Thank you very much.
Which team, which name, Prabhu?
Now we will be Suti Mataji, Sugopi Mataji is there, or Seva Padma Mataji, one of them.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah, who's starting it now? Seva Padma Mataji, you are.
Shruti will do, and Aprajita will do. Aprajita, children are ready for dance?
Mataji, we will be showing the recorded video.
Okay, sure.
Yes, Mataji, 2 minutes.
If it's taking time, then the one who's ready can be shown first, no? This. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, 2 minutes. We just, I'm just opening the file.
Prabhu, are they ready to start the program? Please see.
Okay, Prabhu. Palak, are you ready? Palak. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Radha Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, tell me.
They are not answering, so maybe we can go to other children. Okay, now they are
Shruti
sharing.
Shruti Maji has started. You can mute the other one.
Okay, ठीक. Okay, Prabhu.
Yato 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 jami tato Narsimha, Bhai Narsimha.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Ji and Palak, for nice dance. Shruti, you are ready?
Yes.
Okay.
एक बार जब भगवान ब्रह्मा के 4 पुत्र कुमार तीनों लोकों में घूम रहे थे, वे विष्णु लोक में आए। ये चारों महर्षि 5-6 वर्ष के छोटे-छोटे नग्न बालकों के समान प्रकट हुए। जब भगवान विष्णु के निवास के द्वारपालों जय और विजय ने ऋषियों को पास आते देखा, तो उन्होंने उन्हें सामान्य बच्चों समझ लिया और उन्हें प्रवेश करने से मना कर दिया। महान संतों ने गुस्से में जय और विजय को तुरंत भौतिक दुनिया में जाने और राक्षसों के रूप में जन्म लेने का शाप दिया। जय और विजय हिरण्यकश्यप और हिरण्याक्ष के नाम में जाने वाले सबसे भयानक व्यक्तित्व बन गए। जिस दिन उन्होंने जन्म लिया, उस दिन आकाश में अशुभ ग्रह प्रकट हुए, खून और पस की बारिश हुई और हवा गरज रही थी। अब हम हिरण्यकश्यप के महल में जाएंगे, जहां वह अपने भाई की मृत्यु पर विलाप करते हैं।
दानव और दैत्य, मेरी बात सुनो। मेरे शत्रुओं देवताओं ने मेरे भाई हिरण्याक्ष को मार डाला है। उस धोखेबाज विष्णु ने एक सुअर का भेष लिया और मेरे सबसे प्यारे भाई, जो मेरे बाद सबसे बड़ा राक्षस था, को मारा। इसलिए हमें उन सभी को मारना चाहिए और मैं अपने त्रिशूल से भगवान विष्णु के सिर को उनके शरीर से अलग कर दूंगा। तुरंत पृथ्वी पर जाओ और संतों को मार डालो, तीर्थों के पवित्र स्थानों को नाश करो और गायों का वध करो। शीघ्र जाओ।
हिरण्यकशिपु मंदर पर्वत पर तपस्या करने जाते हैं ताकि वो शक्तिशाली बने और अमर बने। इस बीच देवता अपनी संकटपूर्ण स्थिति के बारे में भगवान ब्रह्मा के पास गए।
प्रिय भगवान ब्रह्मा, हम क्या कर सकते हैं? हम यहाँ आपकी शरण लेने आए हैं। राक्षसों में सबसे महान हिरण्यकश्यप आपसे वरदान पाने के लिए बड़ी तपस्या कर रहा है। वह चाहता है कि पूरा ब्रह्मांड शासन और नियंत्रण करे। यहाँ हमेशा के लिए रहना उसका निर्मम लक्ष्य है।
तो यह द्रुत दानव मेरी जगह लेना चाहता है।
फिर देवता और ब्रह्मा जी हिरण्यकशिपु के तपस्या देखने के लिए जाते हैं।
ओह, वह वहीं खड़ा है। कम से कम 100 सालों से एक पैर पर खड़ा है, अपनी बाहें ऊपर लिए हुए।
हे शिष्ट राक्षस, इस महान तपस्या के लिए मैं तुम्हें वरदान दूंगा। मेरे लक्ष्य तक पहुंचाने में मेरी मदद करने के लिए भगवान ब्रह्म धन्यवाद। अब मुझे यह वरदान दो कि मैं कभी ना मरूं। मुझे क्षमा कीजिए, यह वरदान मैं आपको नहीं दे सकता क्योंकि मुझे भी मरना होगा। फिर मुझे यह दे दो कि मैं कभी भी भूमि पर, समुद्र या आकाश में ना मरूं। तथास्तु। कि मैं ना कभी किसी मनुष्य द्वारा मारा जाऊं, ना पशु से और ना शस्त्र से। तथास्तु। कि मैं कभी दिन में और ना रात में मारा जाऊं। तथास्तु। मैं अमर हूँ, मैं अमर हूँ। अब सब लोग मेरी पूजा करो। हा हा हा। हे भगवान विष्णु, मैं आपके शरण लेता हूँ।
हे भगवान विष्णु, हम आपकी शरण लेते हैं। कृपया इस राक्षस हिरण्यकशिपु को मारें और हमें अपनी दुर्दशा से बचाएं।
अब और चिंता मत करो, कृपया डरो मत। इस दानव की मृत्यु निश्चित रूप से निकट है। जल्द ही उनके परिवार में एक बेटा जन्म लेगा। प्रहलाद वह कहलाएगा, परम प्रिय भक्त। जब ये सबसे बड़ा शैतान अपने बेटे को प्रतिष्ठित करेगा, मैं वादा करता हूँ कि मैं आऊंगा। मैं इस लड़के की रक्षा के लिए उसे तुरंत मार दूंगा। उस समय आपके हृदय फिर से आनंद से भर जाएंगे।
जय हो प्रभु, जय हो।
प्रहलाद, अब तुम 5 वर्ष के हो। मुझे बताओ प्रहलाद, तुमने आज कौन से सांसारिक विषय सीखे हैं? क्या तुमने झूठ बोलना, छल करना, चोरी करना और अपने शत्रुओं का नाश करना सीखा है? अपने जो अच्छे विषय पढ़े हैं उन्हें जरूर बताएं।
हे दैत्यों में श्रेष्ठ पिता, इस ज्ञान को अवश्य सुनो जो किसी अन्य से कहीं श्रेष्ठ है। हमें ईश्वर से प्रेम करना चाहिए, उनके नामों का जाप करना चाहिए और उनका पालन करना चाहिए। ऐसा करने से हम अपने जीवन को परिपूर्ण कर सकते हैं और कलह से मुक्त हो सकते हैं।
मैंने कभी नहीं सोचा था कि मैं अपने ही बेटे के मुख से ऐसी घिनौनी बकवास बात सुनूंगा। शिक्षकों, मैंने अपने बेटे को उसकी शिक्षा के लिए तुम्हें सौंपा है। आप देखिए कि वैष्णव प्रचार के इस तरह के बकवास विषयों को वह सुनने में सक्षम नहीं है।
प्रिय हिरण्यकश्यप, चिंता मत करो, हम उसे ठीक कर देंगे। हम उसे दिन रात बौद्धिक वर्ग के बारे में सिखाएंगे और फिर जब वह बेहतर होश में होंगे तो हम उसे आपके पास वापस ले आएंगे।
अब बच्चों, हमारे पास एक गाना होगा। प्रहलाद, आप हमारे पीछे गाने को दोहराएंगे या हम आपको डंडे से पीटेंगे। तैयार?
आज मेरे पास इतनी दौलत है, फिर और दौलत आएंगी।
आज मेरे पास इतनी दौलत है, फिर और दौलत आएगी।
मैं अपने सभी शत्रुओं को मार डालूंगा, तब मैं अपनी योजना इस प्रकार पूरी करूंगा।
मैं अपने सभी शत्रुओं को मार डालूंगा, तब मैं अपनी योजना इस प्रकार पूरी करूंगा।
मैं अमीर और शक्तिशाली बनना चाहता हूँ ताकि सारी दुनिया मेरी पूजा करे।
मैं अमीर और शक्तिशाली बनना चाहता हूँ ताकि सारी दुनिया मेरी पूजा करे।
मैं हजारों नौकरों को काम पर रोकूंगा, फिर बिना रुके मैं आनंद लूंगा।
मैं हजारों नौकरों को काम पर रखूंगा, फिर बिना रुके मैं आनंद लूंगा।
बहुत अच्छा। आप सभी के पास एक काला निशान हो सकता है।
अब इस तरह से जारी रखें। कक्षा को खारिज कर दिया गया है।
मेरे प्यारे नास्तिक मित्रों, मेरी बात सुनो। गलत बात बोल रहे हैं ये गुरुजी। कृपया स्वार्थी न बने जैसा वे कहते हैं। अगर आप वास्तव में खुश रहना चाहते हैं तो और एक तरीका है, बस कृष्णा के पवित्र नाम गाओ और खेल खेलने में अपना कीमती समय बर्बाद न करें, तब आपके जीवन का उद्धार हो जाएगा।
लेकिन प्रहलाद, चलो खेलते हैं। आखिरकार हम केवल 5 साल के हैं।
हम एक और दिन कृष्ण भावन नाम को अपना सकते हैं।
फिर भगवान कृष्ण के लिए खेलना सीखे। हर कोई अपने सबसे प्यारे दोस्त की तलाश में है। वह मित्र जो हमारे हृदय में स्थित है वह कृष्णा है। अभी कृष्ण भावनामृत को अपनाओ और सदा सुखी बनो। अब बस मेरे साथ इस गाने को आजमाएं। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
रुकिए, तुम्हारी हिम्मत कैसे हुई इस जहर को गाने की? तो प्रहलाद, आप इन गरीब मासूम बच्चों को भगवान की पूजा कराना सिखा रहे हैं।
हमारे साथ आइए, हम आपको हिरण्यकशिप के पास ले जाएंगे और देखेंगे कि इस बारे में उनका क्या कहना है।
तो आप प्रहलाद के साथ वापस आ गए हैं। मुझे आशा है कि वह अपने पिता के नक्शे कदम पर चल रहा है और मेरे जैसे एक महान दानव बन रहा है।
श्रवणं कीर्तनं विष्णोः स्मरणं महत्। भगवान विष्णु को सुनना, जप करना, याद करना सबसे अच्छा काम है, क्योंकि ईश्वर का प्रेम जीवन की पूर्णता है। कृपया पिताजी अपने दुष्ट तरीकों को बदलो और भगवान विष्णु के चरण कमलों में समर्पण करो।
तुम्हारी मुझसे इस तरह बात करने की हिम्मत कैसे हुई? तुम अब मेरे बेटे नहीं हो। अब शिक्षक थे जिन्हें दोष देना है?
हे गुरु, यहाँ हम नहीं थे।
कृष्ण मेरे दुश्मन हैं और मैंने कृष्ण के सभी अनुयायियों को अपने बेटे और अन्य निर्दोष लड़कों को देखने से प्रतिबंधित कर दिया है।
हमने किसी भी भक्त को प्रहलाद से बात करने की अनुमति नहीं दी। हमने विशेष रूप से उनकी रक्षा की और उन्हें संत लोगों से दूर रखा।
किसी तरह तुम असफल हो गए हो और मुझे गुस्सा आता जा रहा है कि मेरे बेटे का दुश्मन द्वारा गलत बातें सिखाई जा रही हैं। मैं कृष्ण की अपने बेटे का मत परिवर्तन करने की योजना को कभी पूरा नहीं होने दूंगा, कभी नहीं।
हम इसके बारे में क्या कर सकते हैं?
मेरे प्यारे राक्षसों, इस लड़के को पाठशाला में पूरी सुरक्षा दे ताकि वह भक्तों से और अधिक प्रभावित ना हो। सावधान रहें क्योंकि वे भेष बदल कर आ सकते हैं।
जरूर जरूर।
बहुत सावधान रहें। मैं कुछ हफ्तों में वापस आकर देखूंगा कि वह कैसा कर रहा है।
कुछ हफ्तों के बाद दो शिक्षकों सांड और अमरकांत ने सोचा कि उनके छात्र प्रहलाद महाराज ने दुनिया का आनंद लेने की कला सीखी है। इसलिए उन्होंने हिरण्यकश्यप को सूचित किया कि उसका पुत्र उसे फिर से देखने के लिए तैयार है।
प्रहलाद बेटे, पाठशाला में क्या सीखा?
पिताजी, भगवान कृष्ण के पवित्र नाम, प्रसिद्धि, गुणों और गतिविधियों के बारे में सुनना और जप करना सबसे अच्छी बात है। आपकी सारी सांसारिक कूटनीति और राजनीति बेकार है।
क्या? तुम धूर्त पुत्र, मुझे बताओ कि तुमने यह कहाँ से सीखा और मैं तुम्हें मार डालूंगा।
मैं आपको नहीं बता सकता पिताजी, क्योंकि आप कभी नहीं समझ सकते थे।
मुझे बताओ, तुम धूर्त, मुझे बताओ।
अगर मैं आपको बता भी दूं, तो आप समझ नहीं पाए, क्योंकि आप कृष्ण से ईर्ष्या करते हैं।
दानव, उसे मारो, उसे मार डाला जाना चाहिए। इस लड़के को जल्द से जल्द मार दिया जाना चाहिए। वह शत्रु कृष्ण का भक्त बन गया है। उसे मारो, मारो।
केवल प्रहलाद के कृष्ण के प्रति समर्पण के कारण हिरण्यकश्यप उसके 5 वर्षीय बेटे का दुश्मन बन गया। एक दुश्मन जो उसे मारने के लिए दृढ़ था। हिरण्यकश्यप ने कुछ राक्षसों को बुलाया और उन्हें कहा, इस लड़के को ले लो और इसे अपने हथियारों से मारो।
उसे मारो, उसे काट दो, उसे मार डालो।
हालांकि राक्षस सभी के दिलों में भय पैदा कर सकते थे, लेकिन वे प्रहलाद के दिल में डर नहीं ला सके। उन्होंने हमेशा कृष्ण को बड़े प्यार और भक्ति के साथ वहां रखा था। इस तरह प्रहलाद को चोट नहीं आई थी। तब हिरण्यकश्यप ने प्रहलाद को उबलते तेल के बर्तन में फेंक दिया, लेकिन तेल प्रहलाद को नहीं जला। हिरण्यकश्यप भयभीत हो गया और उसने प्रहलाद को एक बड़े पागल हाथी के पैर के नीचे रख दिया। लेकिन कृष्ण ने हाथी के दिल में रहते हुए लड़के को इस खतरे से भी बचा लिया। हिरण्यकश्यप ने प्रहलाद को एक पहाड़ी से फेंकने की कोशिश की और उसने प्रहलाद को बड़ी ठंडी हवा, बारिश और बर्फ में डालकर मारने की कोशिश की। उसने प्रहलाद को चट्टानों के कुचलने, आग से जलाने ने जहर देने और भूखा रखने की कोशिश की, लेकिन प्रहलाद सुरक्षित रहे, क्योंकि कृष्ण ने वादा किया था कि उसका भक्त कभी नष्ट नहीं होगा।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
हिरण्यकश्यप ने प्रहलाद की शक्ति से डरते हुए उसे बड़े जहरीले सांपों के गड्ढे में फेंक दिया। जब कृष्ण ने प्रहलाद को सांपों से बचाया तो हिरण्यकश्यप चिंता और बड़े दुख से भर गए।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
वास्तव में उसने अपने पाप रहित पुत्र प्रहलाद के प्रति क्रोध के कारण अपनी मृत्यु को निकट आते देखा। हिरण्यकश्यप ने जाने क्या क्या कर रहा था। एक बार फिर वह निर्दोष और संत प्रहलाद से भिड़ गया।
प्रहलाद, तुम मूर्खता से मेरे आदेशों के विरुद्ध गए हो। मेरी अवज्ञा करने के लिए आपको अपनी शक्तियाँ कहाँ से मिल रही हैं? मैं सर्वोच्च हूँ। आपको ये शक्तियाँ कौन दे रहा है?
हे पिता, जो मुझे मेरी शक्ति दे रहे हैं वही तेरा बल दे रहे हैं। कृष्ण के बिना कोई भी शक्तिशाली नहीं हो सकता।
तुम मुझसे इस तरह बात करने की हिम्मत करते हो? मैं ब्रह्मांड में सबसे मजबूत व्यक्ति हूँ।
हे राजा, आपको अपनी ईर्ष्या छोड़ देनी चाहिए और सर्वोच्च भगवान कृष्ण का पूजा करना चाहिए।
तुम कहते हो कि कोई मुझसे बड़ा है और कोई जो मुझसे बड़ा नियंत्रक है और जिसकी शक्ति सर्वत्र है। अगर वह हर जगह है तो वह यहाँ क्यों नहीं है? क्या वह हर जगह है?
हाँ पिता, कृष्ण हर जगह है।
क्या वह इस स्तंभ में है?
हाँ पिता, वह उस स्तंभ में है।
हा, अब तुम पागल शब्द बोल रहे हो। यह निश्चित है कि आप मरने वाले हैं। मैं अब तुम्हारे शरीर से तुम्हारा सिर काट दूंगा, जैसे मैंने इस खंबे को काट दिया।
मेरे प्यारे भगवान, आप ही असीमित हैं और आपके पास असीमित शक्तियाँ हैं। आपकी शक्ति के अनुमान कोई नहीं ले सकता। इस धरती के कारण हमारे जीवन कुछ समस्याओं से भरे हुए थे, लेकिन आप मेरे भगवान अपने भक्तों के प्रति इतने दयालु हैं कि आपने हमारी रक्षा की और इस राक्षस को मार डाला। मेरे द्वारा दिए गए वरदानों को भी बावजूद आपने उनमें से किसी का भी उल्लंघन नहीं किया। वह ना तो दिन में ना तो रात में मारा गया, बल्कि आपके गोद में, ना अंदर ना तो ही बाहर, लेकिन द्वार में, ना तो मनुष्य या जानवर का देवता द्वारा, बल्कि आधे आदमी और आधे शिव द्वारा। ना आकाश में, ना समुद्र में, ना तो हवा में मारा गया था। आपके गोद में मारा गया। कोई हथियार इस्तेमाल नहीं किया गया था, केवल आपके दिव्य नाखून से मारा गया। इस प्रकार आपने सभी वरदानों को बरकरार रखा है।
आप हमारे मुक्तिदाता और रक्षक हैं। बलिदान के हमारे हिस्से जो वास्तव में आपके हैं, आपके द्वारा इस राक्षस से बरामद किए गए हैं। हम इस राक्षस से लगातार लड़ते थे, लेकिन आपने इसे मार कर हमारे डर को खत्म कर दिया। मैं आपको विनम्र श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करता हूँ। आपका यह रूप वास्तव में बहुत शक्तिशाली है, डरावना है और दुर्लभ है। ऐसा अद्भुत रूप हमने पहले कभी नहीं देखा। हम आपको बार बार नमन करते हैं।
प्रहलाद, भगवान विष्णुदेव आपके पिता पर अत्यंत क्रोधित है। कृपया आगे बढ़े और उन्हें खुश करें।
मैं प्रार्थना कैसे कर सकता हूँ, मैं जो एक राक्षसी परिवार से पैदा हुआ था। यदि भगवान ब्रह्मा आपको संतुष्ट नहीं कर सके तो मेरे पास ऐसा करने का कोई मौका नहीं है। मैं केवल नरसिम्हा देव के इस अद्भुत रूप को विनम्र प्रणाम करता हूँ। कृपया मेरे पिता पर इतना गुस्सा न करें। मेरी विनती है कि आप अपनी अकारण कृपा से मेरे पिता को मुक्ति प्रदान करें।
तुम धन्य हो पुत्र।
हिरण्यकशिपु का किरदार पलक ने निभाया है। देवताओं का किरदार अनंता और उत्तरा ने निभाया है। ब्रह्मदेव का किरदार भव्य ने निभाया है। प्रहलाद का किरदार साची ने निभाया है। अध्यापक का किरदार हीर और परी ने निभाया है। छात्र का किरदार वैष्णवी और काशवी ने निभाया है। नरसिम्हा का किरदार जी ने निभाया है। विष्णु भगवान का किरदार जिया ने निभाया है और मैं कथावाचक।
हरे कृष्ण।
Very nice, Shruti. Well done. Very nice, Shruti.
Hare Krishna. We're not hearing the sound. Is the one over now? Or?
Is the drama over? Yes, Prabhu, drama is over.
Okay. So how many more our balance? Sugovi Maji, thank you very much, Shriya Maji, for this wonderful presentation both of you have done. Sudhi Maji, thank you very much. And all the children and all the participants and coordinators.
Now the dance by Kanishka.
Okay.
Spotlight Kanishka.
Can you spotlight me, Kanishka?
से पहले मेरे को
कर दिया।
अभी सही है बेटा, देखिए।
Thank you. कृष्ण हे श्याम श्याम हे गोकुल नंदन प्यारे कान्हा कुंज कुंज में कृष्ण खेलते नित्य निरंतर प्यारे कान्हा कृष्ण कृष्ण हे श्याम श्याम हे गोकुल नंदन प्यारे कान्हा कुंज कुंज में कृष्ण खेलते नित्य निरंतर प्यारे कान्हा रास राधिका संग खेलते गोप गोपियां सारे हे कृष्ण राग में लीन हो रहे मंत्र मुग्ध है सारे अच्युतानंद श्याम कृष्ण दामोदर राम नारायण जानकी वल्लभ राम
भगवान की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Kanishka. Very nice.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Sugoi Mata, which is the next one?
Yes.
Continue.
I'll start. Bhavya, unmute and start. I will start.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Bhavya.
Very nice, Bhavya.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'll be saying the Narsimha Kavacham.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, can you spotlight me? Hare Krishna. Narsimha Kavacham Vakshe Prahladenoditam Pura Sarvarakshakaram Punyam Sarvopadravanashanam Sarvasampatkaram Chaiva Swargam Moksha Pradayakam Dhyatva Nrisimham Devesham Hema Simhasanastitam Vivritasyan Trinayanam Saradindu Samaprabham Lakshmyalingita Vamangam Vibhutibhi Upashrutam Chaturbhujam Komalangam Swarna Kundala Shobhitam Shriya Sushobhito Raskam Ratna Keyura Mudritam Tapta Kanchana Sankasham Pita Nirmala Vashasham Indradisura Maulista Spuran Manikya Deeptibihi Virajita Padadvandvam Sanka Chakrati Hetibihi Garutmata cha vinayat stuyamanam mudanvitam swahrit kamala sambasham kritva tu kavacham pathet nisimho me sirah patu loka rakshatma sambhavaha sarva gopi stambhavasah phalam me rakshatu dhvanim nisimho me drishau patu soma suryagni lochanaha smritim me patu nriharihi munivaryastuti priyaha nasam me simhanasastu mukham lakshmi mukhapriyaha sarva vidyadipah patu nrisimho me rasanam mama vaktram patva indu vadanah sada prahlada vanditaha nrisimha patu me kantham skandau bhuvaranam takrit divyastra shobhita bhujo nrisimha patu me bhujau Karo me dev varado nrisimha patu sarvataha hridayam yogi sadhyascha nivasham patu me harihi Matyam patu hiranyaksha vaksha kukshi vidaranaha Nabhi me patu nriharihi swanabhi brahma samstutaha Brahma andakote katyam yasya saupatu me katim Gohyam me patu gohyana mantranam gohya rupadrek Urumano bhava patu Januni nararupadre Jange patu dharapara hattayo saundrikeshari Surarajya pradah patu padav me nriharishwaraha Sahasasisha purushah patu sarvasastanam Mahograh purvatah patu mahaviragra jognitihi Mahavishnu dakshinetu mahajwalastu nairtau Paschime patu sarvesho dishime sarvato mukha Nrisimha patu vayavyam saumyam vishana vigraha Ishanam patu vadro me sarva mangala dayakaha Samsara bhayadah patu mrityor mrityurnakeshari Idam nrisimham kavacham prahlada mukhamanditam Bhaktimanya pate nityam sarva papai pramuchyate Putravan dhanvan loke digayur upajayate Yam yam kamayate kamam tam tam prapnotya samsayam Sarvatra jayam apnoti sarvatra vijayi bhavet Bhumyantriksha divyanam grahanam vinivaranam Trishchiko raga sambhuta vishapaharanam param Brahma rakshasa yakshanam durocharana karanam Bhujeva talapatre kavacham likitham subham Karamule dhritam yena siddhyeyu karama siddhayaha Devashura manusyeshu swam swam eva jayam labet Ekasandhyam trisandhyam vayapate niyato naraha Sarva mangala mangalyam Bhuktim muktim cha vindati Dvatrim sati sahasrani patet chuddhatma bhinrivihi Kavachastyasya mantrasya mantra siddhi prajayate Anena mantra rajena kritva basmabhi mantranam Tilakam vipriyat yastu graha bhayam haret Trivaram japamanastu datam varyabhi mantrayacha प्राशयत्यं नरं मन्त्रं नृसिंह ध्यानमाचरेत् तस्य रोगः प्रणश्यन्ति यच्छुस्यु कुक्षिसम्भवः किमत्र बहुनोक्तेन नृसिंह सदृशो भवेत् मनसा चिन्तिता यत्तु स तचाप्नोति संशयम् गज्जन्तं गज्जयन्तं निजभुजपटलं स्फोटयन्तं हरन्तं दीप्यन्तं तापयन्तं दिवि भुजि दितिजं क्षेपयन्तं क्षिपन्तं क्रन्दन्तं रोषयन्तं दिशि दिशि सततं संहरन्तं हरन्तं वीक्षन्तं गूर्णयन्तं करनिकरसत्तै दिव्यसिंहं नमामि इति श्रीब्रह्माण्डपुराणे प्रह्लादोक्तं श्रीनृसिंहकवचं सम्पूर्णम्। हरे कृष्णा।
Hari Bol. Thank you, Rishita. Wonderful. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Smriti has to do a dance.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very, very much. Wonderful class. Dance was so wonderful. Smriti, thank you so much.
Thank you.
How many hours you practiced?
1 hour.
Oh, and you did so wonderful in such a short time. That's great. Excellent.
Thank you.
Hope to see you again.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari Bol. Okay. Sugavimanti, I think your line up is over, right? If I'm,
Prabhuji. Thank you
yeah.
so much, Prabhu.
Yeah, no, I think Sachi Mataji's thing will be there.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, pranams.
Yes.
So, can we start, Prabhuji?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Tulsi Gopi, start with appearance. Start off.
Hare Krishna Mataji, can you hear us?
Very much.
Okay, Prabhuji, I will just screen share the skit.
I'm going to tell you the story of the great devotee of Lord Narsimha, Prahlad Maharaj. Hiranyakashipu and his brother Hiranyaksha were all set to conquer the world. Lord Krishna defeated Hiranyaksha in his incarnation as Lord Varaha. Since then, Hiranyakashipu considered Lord Vishnu as his enemy. Afterwards, Hiranyakashipu performed a penance to appease Brahma and got a boon which made his death difficult. Meanwhile, his wife Kayadu stayed in Narad Muni's ashram when she was bearing Prahlada in her womb. The little Prahlada imbibed the path of devotion to Lord Vishnu when he was in his mother's womb. Now he is a young boy and you can see the power of his devotion yourself.
Om Namo Narayanaya.
I should send Prahlad to the Gurukul so that he can be a good Asura and accept me as the supreme.
The king of all the three worlds and the supreme power of all Asuras. O mighty King Hiranyakashipu, we all bow to you.
O Guru Shanda Namarka, this is the time for my son Prahlad to learn all the Asura qualities. He must learn that I am the supreme and who my enemy is.
O King, we will put all our efforts and give the education for Prahlada as per your instructions. Shall we take Prahlada with us now?
O Prahlad, come here. I have made arrangements for your education. Please go and study well.
Okay, Father, I will go.
Dear students, do you remember what did I teach you yesterday?
There is no one greater than Hiranyakashipu. He is the supreme one.
Hiranyakashipu is the king of all worlds. We should praise him.
Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. We should worship him. Om Namo Narayanaya.
Prahlada, you're under the wrong impression. You should chant mantras praising your father, Hiranyakashipu.
No, Gurudev. We should worship Krishna. Krishna is the supreme.
Is there loss of sound?
Godhead.
We like the things that Prahlad speaks.
Radish Prabhu, are you able to hear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
No, I'm not able to hear.
We can hear Prabhu.
We can hear Prabhu.
Okay. Something I don't know.
The teachers couldn't do much to change him, so they brought him back to Hiranyakashipu.
My dear son, what did you learn in the Gurukul these days?
Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam. Oh, my dear father, hear about Krishna. We should chant his holy names. We should remember him. We should
worship him. We should worship his lotus feet. And we should surrender to him.
O king, what your son is saying had not been taught to him by us or anybody else. This bent of mine is natural to him. We have given up.
Asura, you know what to do. You don't obey me and would chant the names of my enemies.
Yes, Maharaj.
The king Hiranyakashipu tried all possible options. As per his orders, Prahlada was trampled by elephants and bitten by snakes. They did not do any harm to him. They tried pushing him off the cliff and into the ocean. That didn't work either. Let's see what Hiranyakashipu has on his mind.
What should I do? I'll call my sister Holika to destroy Prahlad.
Hiranyakashipu calls Holika his sister.
Yes, brother, I'll help you in this situation. I'll use my bone, that fire won't burn me. I'll sit with Prahlada in the fire so that he will become destroyed.
How do you disobey my authority? Who gave you this strength? Lord Vishnu is everywhere. Is he on this door? Yes. Is he on the floor? Yes. Then is he on this pillar? Yes. Namaste I always protect my devotees. I bless you for a long, long time.
नरसिम्हदेव भगवान की जय। भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। Hare Krishna. So I will tell the cast. So the narrator was Tisya, Narsimhadev was Karunya, Hiranyakashipu was Dev, Prahlad Maharaj was Gopal Chandra, Shanda was Aditi, Amarka was Sri Lakshmi, Holika was Radhita, Hiranyakashipu's demoniac servant was Bharat. Students with Prahlad Maharaj were Aditya, Amit and Krishna Balram. So now I will be sharing another two skits. So now we have seen the appearance of Lord Narsimhadev. Now we will see some real life incidents of Lord Narsimha Dev reciprocating with his devotees. So this took place with the Narsimha Dev in Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir. Many people think that the Lord doesn't reciprocate with his devotees. But now you can see the power of the reciprocation of Lord Narsimha Dev with his devotees. This was narrated by His Grace Jananivas Prabhuji and His Grace Pankajangri Prabhuji in one of their lectures. So I will be sharing those skits now.
Hare Krishna. Once in the temple there was a pujari who was scared of worshipping Narsimha Dev. He was appointed as the pujari to serve Narsimha Dev. One night when he was sleeping, he felt that his bed was moving. He thought that it was the devotee sleeping under him, as it was a bunk bed. When he opened his eyes, he saw that Narsimha Dev was sitting on him.
Why are you scared when you're worshipping me? Don't be scared.
Narsimha Dev, Narsimha Dev, Narsimha Dev, Narsimha Dev, Narsimha Dev, Narsimha Dev.
The devotee even had Narsimha Dev's handprint on his shoulders. Narsimha Deva Bhagavan ki jai.
Hare Krishna. So the cast for this skit was the narrator was Srishti, Narsimha Dev was Karunya, and the scared pujari the role was done by Krishani. So we will see one more skit.
Once there was a Mataji who visited the Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir and was offering her obeisances to Lord Narsimha Dev. She had some cataract problem and was praying to Lord Narsimha Dev. She heard a voice within. The pujaris to return my eyes back, then a problem will be solved.
Actually, a few days ago, one Prabhuji had given a new pair of tiger-like eyes for Lord Narsimha Dev. The pujaris had changed Lord Narsimha Dev's eyes to the new eyes which the devotee had given. So, as Narsimha Dev instructed, Atma Vidya Mataji informed Jananivas Prabhuji, who was the pujari of Lord Narsimha Dev. Few days later, in Jananivas Prabhuji's meditation, Lord Narsimha Dev appeared from the pillar and very angrily said,
Why are you giving me the beautiful eyes? Where are my angry eyes?
Jananivas Prabhuji tells the other pujaris,
Looks like Narsimha Dev wants his angry eyes back.
Yes, I think we should arrange for them again.
Thus, the angry eyes were arranged back for Lord Narsimha Dev, and even Atma Vidya Mataji's cataract problem was cured.
Hare Krishna, Narsimha Dev Bhagwan ki. So the cast for this one was narrator was Madhavan, Narsimha Dev was Karunya, Atma Vidya Mataji was Jia, Jananivas Prabhuji was Hasini, and the other pujari was Yatharth. Hare Krishna. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to present, and thanks to Sachi Mataji for guiding us. Hare Krishna.
You please sing Narsimha Kavacha.
Yes, Mataji will sing the Narsimha Kavach. Narasimham Kavacham Rakshe Prahladevyuditam Para Sarva Rakshakaram Punyam Sarvo Bhadravanashanam Sarva Sampatkaram Chaiva Sarva Moksha Pradayakam Dhyatva Narasimham Devesham Yema Simhasanasthitam विवृतास्यं त्रिनयनं शरदिन्दु समप्रभं लक्ष्म्यालिङ्गितवामाङ्गं विभूतिभिरुपाश्रितं चतुर्भुजं कोमलाङ्गं स्वर्णकुण्डलशोभितं सरोजशोभितोरस्कं रत्नकेयूरमुद्भितं तप्तकाञ्चन सङ्काशं पीतनिर्मलवाससं इन्द्राग्रीसुरमौलिस्तः स्फुरन्माणिक्यदीप्तिभिः विराजिता पादद्वन्द्वं शङ्खचक्रादिहेतिभिः गरुड्मता च विनयात् स्तूयमानं मुदान्वितं स्वहृत्कमलसंवासं कृत्वा तु कवचं पठेत् नरसिंहो मे शिरौ पातु लोकरक्षार्थसम्भवः सर्वगोपीस्तम्भवासः फलं मे रक्षतु ध्वनिं नरसिंहो मे दृशौ पातु सोमसूर्याग्निलोचनः स्मृतं मे पातु नरहरि मुनिवार्यास्तुतिप्रियः नाशं मे सिंहनाशस्तु मुखं लक्ष्मीमुखप्रियः सर्वविद्यादिपापातु नरसिंहरसनं मम वक्रं पात्व इन्दुवदनं सदा प्रह्लादवन्दितः नरसिंहो पातु मे कण्ठं स्कन्दो भूभृद् अनन्तकृत् दिव्यास्त्रशोभितो भुजौ नरसिंहो पातु मे भुजौ करौ मे देववरदो नरसिंहो पातु सर्वतः हृदयं योगिसाध्यश्च निवासं पातु मे हरिः मध्यं पातु हिरण्याक्ष वक्षकुक्षिविदारणः नाभिं मे पातु नरहरि स्वनाभिब्रह्म संस्तुतः ब्रह्माण्डकोटयः कट्यं यस्यासु पातु मे कटिं गुह्यं मे पातु गुह्यानां मन्त्राणां गुह्यरूपदृक् उरुमनोभव पातु जानुनी नररूपदृक् जङ्घे पातु धराभरा हर्तायुषो नरकेसरी सुरराज्यप्रदा पातु पादौ मे नरहरीश्वरः सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः पातु मे सर्वशस्तनुं महोग्रः पूर्वतः पातु महावीराग्रजोग्नितः महाविष्णुर्दक्षिणे तु महाज्वालस्तु नैमिषः पश्चिमे पातु सर्वेषु दिशि मे सर्वतोमुखः नरसिंहो पातु वायव्यां सौम्यं भूषणविग्रहः ईशान्यं पातु भद्रो मे सर्वमङ्गलदायकः संसारभयतः पातु मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नरकेसरीम् इदं नरसिंहकवचं प्रह्लादमुखमण्डितं भक्तिमान्य पठेत् नित्यं सर्वपापैः प्रमुच्यते पुत्रवान् धनवान् लोके दीर्घायुरुपजायते यं यं कामयते कामं तं तं प्राप्नोति असंशयम् सर्वत्र जयमाप्नोति सर्वत्र विजयी भवेत् भूमि अंतरिक्ष दिव्यानां ग्रहाणां विनिवारणं वृश्चिको रागसम्भूता विशापहरणं परं ब्रह्म राक्षसयज्ञानां दुरोत्सारणकारणं भुजे वा तालपत्रे वा कवचं लिखितं शुभं करमूले धृतं येन सिद्धेयुः कर्म सिद्धयः देवासुरमनुष्येषु स्वामेव जयं लभेत् एकसङ्गं वा य पठे नियतो नरः सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्यं मुक्तिं मुक्तिं च विन्दति 32,000 पठेत् शुद्धात्मनां नृणां कवचस्याश्च मन्त्रस्य मन्त्रसिद्धिः अनेन मन्त्रराजेन कृत्वा भस्माभिर्मन्त्रणाम् तिलकं विनियसेद्यस्तु तस्य ग्राहं भयं भवेत् त्रिवारं जपमानस्तु दत्तं वार्याभिमन्त्र च प्रासयेद्यो नरो मन्त्रं नरसिंहध्यानमाचरेत् तस्य रोगा प्रणश्यन्ति ये च शुकुक्षुसम्भवः गर्जन्तं गार्जयन्तं भुजपटलं स्फोटयन्तं हटन्तं रुग्भयन्तं कापयन्तं द्विभुवि द्विजं क्षेपयन्तं क्षिपन्तं क्रन्दन्तं रोषयन्तं दिशि दिशि सततं संहरन्तं भरन्तं वीक्षन्तं पूर्णयन्तं करनिकरसते दिव्यसिंहं नमामि गर्जन्तं गार्जयन्तं निजभुजपटलं स्फोटयन्तं हटन्तं रूपयन्तं तापयन्तं दिवि भुवि दितिजं क्षेपयन्तं क्षिपन्तं क्रन्दन्तं रोषयन्तं दिशि दिशि सततं संहरन्तं वरन्तं वीक्षन्तं पूर्णयन्तं करनिकरशते दिव्यसिंहं नमामि गर्जन्तं गाजयन्तं निजभुजपटलं स्फोटयन्तं हटन्तं रूपयन्तं तापयन्तं दिवि भुवि दितिजं क्षेपयन्तं क्षिपन्तं क्रन्दन्तं रोषयन्तं दिशि दिशि सततं संहरन्तं वरन्तं वीक्षन्तं पूर्णयन्तं करनिकरशतय दिव्यसिंहं नमामि इति श्री ब्रह्मांड पुराणे श्री प्रह्लादोक्तं श्री नरसिंह कवचं संपूर्णम्।
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Prabhu, thanks a lot for giving us this opportunity.
Yeah, it was wonderful skits by all the. Any more is there, or this is the last?
We have done, Prabhuji. We have done.
Okay.
And,
So thank you.
Children also for that wonderful contribution. They had exams, Prabhuji, actually. They were
Yeah.
in exams, so somehow they could manage to do it. And thanks for all your guidance, encouragement, and for giving the children the opportunity to perform on this auspicious day of Narsimha Chaturdashi. Thanks
Yeah,
a lot.
it's all Narsimha time. And thank you. I mean, let me thank everybody. Actually, my charge has gone a little down, so I'm actually standing. Thank you all, everybody, for contributing for such a wonderful occasion of Narsimha Chaturdashi for Shamadesh Yatra. And the children did excellent, and they were so, I can say, blissful also, you know. Being with them actually charged me up also, and I'm sure others also. And I'd like to thank all the senior Matajis and other devotees who have participated and made these occasions wonderful. And we also had Nectar from Maharaj. Let's all pray together for all the devotees who are suffering worldwide, and also the non-devotees due to COVID. At least let's request Narsimha to give a little bit of relief for such a precarious situation that we are in now. So let us chant Hare Krishna mantra for all of them. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
Rama, Hare Hare.
I would like to also